It's time for the Union Tar Heel Days Grand Parade on KDAO. Our broadcast is brought to you by Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service, the Tar Heel Days Committee and the Union Betterment Association, Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative, Hardin County Savings Bank. Now, the Union Tar Heel Days Grand Parade on KDAO.
And a very pleasant good morning to you on a beautiful Saturday morning, a beautiful day for Union Tar Heels Parade on KDAO.com. I'm in downtown Union, right by Heart of Iowa, and I'm getting ready to do the play-by-play as best I can of the Union Tar Heel Days Parade on KDAO.com. Now, first off, there's a lot of people to thank. I have some housekeeping things, okay? That's what I call them. I want to thank our sponsors of our broadcast, the Tar Heel Days Committee and Union Betterment Association, Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative. They're so nice. I mean, they let me use the power and the Ethernet, so I really, really appreciate them. I heard they're throwing out Frosty Pops today, or Freeze Pops, whatever. Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative, already mentioned that. Hardin County Savings Bank, Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service. Also want to thank Laura Newby, the library director for Union. And of course, one thing I do want to mention, that there is a book sale going on at the library today until 2 p.m. All books sold for a free will donation. So I wanted to plug that for the library, okay? And also, of course, Diana Haywood. Diana always does a great job doing interviews with KDAO Radio, so we always appreciate her efforts. And as we go along here, of course, the parade is, I don't know, it's about maybe 2 minutes away from coming into view. So we got a lot of people in town watching the parade on a beautiful day. I think I overdressed, man. I overdressed, but it was hot. Oh, and by the way, I want to thank all people tuning in today, including, I think, Karen's mother. I think Karen's mother is watching this online. And so those are my shout-outs, I think. That's behind-the-scenes stuff. And, also I want to thank Carrie Simpson. She stopped by and did an interview. And just real quickly, I know along with everything else, they're trying to raise money for a new playground area here on the east side of Heart of Iowa. So if you're interested, you can make donations, that sort of thing. Now, we actually kicked things off yesterday. I know it rained, but at least it stopped raining. And that was very, very nice because we had the Buster Nice Youth Golf Tournament going on at the golf course. So I mean, I think they had over 50 kids take part. The rain had stopped by then. It was a little soggy for them, but that's okay. So the kids did a good job that way. And I know it rained during the afternoon, and then they had an adult golf tournament at the golf course, and the people that took part in that, they were real troopers because it wasn't the best weather for it. But the one thing is, of course, and people in Union already know this, they couldn't do the fireworks last night because of the rain. So they're going to have that tonight. And today and tonight, after the parade is over, is a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I'll be talking about that stuff as we go along today. Of course, we have the BFW and the colors. But there's a whole bunch, and I assume we're going to have some class reunions here. This is fun. You know, I started my parade season in Beeman back in May, so here I am in Union at Tar Heel Days. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on this afternoon and tonight, and I'll chit-chat about those things as we go along. Now, one thing that's going to be going on today is the presentation of the Quilts of Valor. That'll be at 12:30, and that's very special, and here's the Quilts of Valor. And that's just one of the things that'll be going on today after the parade is over. And we'll talk about all the things going on during the parade, or after the parade, excuse me. I can tell you, though, we have a car show and a tractor show downtown, and then we're going to have a lot of food trucks downtown, and then we're going to have things for the kids to do downtown, okay? So we got that stuff going on. Got to have a Grand Marshal, Bob Johnson. See, I don't know. Okay, people maybe can help me. I don't know. The Grand Marshal the same as the Town Scrooge? Well, I guess it is. There's the sign. See, I thought that because, you know, in wintertime when they have the Yuletide and Union thing, they always, they always vote for the Town Scrooge. And then I think one of the things he or she has to do is to ride in the parade. So I got that cleared up. I thought so. And then obviously I saw the sign right there. And there's Mr. Johnson throwing out the candy. I think he's officially going to be named the Grand Marshal at a ceremony later. Okay, now, got to have a Miss Union Whitten, got to have that. And we're talking about Leah McCune. Miss Union Whitten, Leah McEwen. Good job, Leah. Throwing a lot of candy. She's waving and throwing a lot of candy at the same time. So Leah definitely is multitasking out there. And you can see, this is no small parade. See, got all those emergency first responders. And up the street, we got people getting the candy. Oh, look at Jade. Jade's getting candy out there. Oh, look at Jade out there. I think baby Carolina is too young to get candy. But Jade has no shame. Now see what Jade's doing right there? She's giving the candy to the little girl, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's taking some for herself. Anyway, I would. Tom Bays, Mayor. So, no matter the parade, you got to have dignitaries to lead the parade. So that's what we're doing. Now, a couple things here this morning. I overdressed, but when I walked outside this morning, it was like cold. And I think people that took part in the run this morning, I think they probably wore long sleeve shirts. So I can't be blamed. Now we have our good public safety officials, Union Area Ambulance. Of course, we really got started today. We had that breakfast at the fire station, and of course, the Union Fire Department did that. And like we always talk about, whenever there's a fundraiser and that sort of thing, please support. They're throwing sugar babies out and Tootsie Pops and Tootsie Rolls. Those are my favorite, man. So please support the fire departments. And the Union Fire Department, they did the breakfast this morning. Then we had a whole bunch of people involved in the 5K run and walk. I overdressed, but that's okay. So those are the two things. And after this is over, of course, the vendor and craft show is going to be going on behind us. And then we'll get to all the other things going on in Union for Tar Heel Days. Nice parade. It's always a nice parade, man. Tar Heel Days 2026. They have a good committee. Tar Heel Days Parade and the Union Betterment Association. They do a good job with this. The only bump of the road, the stupid rain last night, which was actually welcome during the daytime. Then it got to be annoying. Cancel the fireworks. But tonight it's going to be action-packed because you got that Glow Golf Tournament going on out there. And then you also have the fireworks. And I can't forget about the community meal. And the community meal tonight will be up at the golf course from, I believe, 6 till 7:30. And that community meal, in the old days, it was kind of just for Union Whitten alumni. Thanks for coming down, Whitten. But now it's opened up to the whole community. That'll be at the golf course tonight from 6 till 7:30. Last night, of course, the Masons came down. So, there's no shortage of food options. You started the day with a good breakfast at the fire department, and in between, you can have these food vendors that are going to be set up kind of in the gravel parking lot area. I guess I'll call it south of the Union Supper Club. Old school people know what I'm talking about. Thanks to Liscombe for coming over. Of course, I think they have mutual aid with all these area fire departments. Yeah, the Supper Club. See, my best memory of the Supper Club in the 80s, not that you care about my life, I actually DJ'd dances, and I remember doing a wedding dance in 1985 at the Supper Club. I don't know who it was, but at the time on Saturday night, okay, help me, old school people, you would know this, they used to do a buffet, or my dad would call it a smorgasbord, and I did a dance, and the owner said, Chuck, make sure you get something to eat. And this is 1985, it was the best meatloaf and baked potatoes I ever had in my life. No offense against my dad, but man, the Union Supper Club, that was good stuff. Anyway, that's my point is, that's where the food vendors are, and will be after this parade is over. And then, like I said, they'll be here all afternoon long, so the weather's just to be perfect, so not everybody just goes home. There's a lot of things to see, do, and eat here after the parade. And then, of course, like I said, we have the community meal at the golf course from 6 till 7:30 tonight, and then they have a family movie at the Union Community Church. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. We have the Night Glow Golf Tournament. That's a lot of fun. Hey, thanks to New Providence for coming down. I've done a lot of parades, and this is probably the best one so far as area fire departments coming down and supporting Union. So thanks to New Providence. We've already seen Whitten. And we'll continue along here. It's got a great crowd. It's not very hot, but people, got the shade thing. Again, the Providence Fire Department. I don't think I've ever seen a blue fire truck before, or blue fire vehicle. I've never seen one before, so that's kind of cool. So New Providence coming down, throwing out the candy. It's our Union Tar Heel Days Parade. Great parade. Tar Heel Days Committee, Betterment Association, UBA, Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative, Hardin County Savings Bank, Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service, all providing the play-by-play on KDAO.com. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Maybe you can't attend. Maybe you're out of state. Maybe you're like Karen's mom, home today, and you're checking out the parade. Hey, thanks to Conrad for coming over. So Conrad, New Providence, Whitten did a good job. Thanks for coming over and supporting the Union Fire Department. Okay, now speaking of great organizations, they help us out a lot at KDAO. We're talking about Heart of Iowa. As I mentioned, they're throwing out freeze pops. See, the last couple of years, they throw out fly swatters and those cups that turn colors. Those are like very cool. Ryan, who used to work for us, works at Heart of Iowa. And a couple years ago, he threw out that one cup, and I said, well, it's just a cup. But then I noticed, like, when you put cold stuff in it, it turns colors. It's like that's the coolest cup in the whole wide world. Now they're tossing out freeze pops. Oh, and pencils. My Grandpa Schaefer would have liked that. My Grandpa Schaefer loved running around in the parade getting pencils. So they're throwing out pencils. Okay, Grandpa Schaefer, he'd be all over that. My Grandpa Schaefer, in 1972, at the Malcolm Centennial, him and my Aunt Bonnie ran out and got fly swatters and pencils and yardsticks. See, nobody throws out yardsticks anymore. And my cousins and I were just screaming with laughter because there's Grandpa Schaefer and there's Aunt Bonnie running after pencils and fly swatters and yardsticks. It's a beautiful day in Union. They do a great job with this, and of course, they also, do a great job with their Yuletide event. Sometimes it's kind of cold for that. And like I said, they're also trying to raise money for playground equipment. I think they have a lot of the playground equipment bought. It's just kind of the stuff that goes along with it. And Carrie Simpson stopped by and mentioned if you'd like to make a donation, please make a donation. You can go to City Hall. I think they have probably donation jars out in some of the businesses in Union. Just trying to raise some money. I mean, they have a very, very nice little playground here on the east side of Heart of Iowa, but of course they want to make it better. Celebrating, I keep forgetting sometimes, we're also celebrating our 250th birthday. That's a very cool car. I think these guys are from Conrad. That's a very cool car. We have people from all over here at the parade. This started on the east end. Oh, and by the way, one thing I forgot to mention, well, sometimes I forget to mention it because I don't see it when I come into town anymore, but for the last 2 years they have the barbecue contest, and that's up at the golf course. Okay, here's the Iowa River's Edge Trail, and of course, Mr. Ritter is kind of in charge of that. So Mr. Ritter's kind of there, and of course they continue to fundraise. They got a few gaps they need to plug there. The Iowa River's Edge Trail. So, Mr. Ritter, what was wrong with me? Mr. Pence. Oh, and there's Mrs. Pence. Now, see, here's the deal. As Christie's handing out candy here, here's the deal with Heart of Iowa, with Hardin County Savings Bank. See, I always think I'm busy, and then I see the Hardin County Savings Bank in Christie, and they're always at parades, and they're always doing bingo, and they have bingo today at 2 o'clock. Is that going to be inside the bank? Okay. So, see, that's the deal. I always think I'm busy, man. There's Annette Sweeney, our state senator, and Annette's kind of doing the parade wave. So there you go, Annette. She's doing the parade wave. Annette and I go way back. Oh, and Lance Granzo for county supervisor. So nice to see Annette here. So yeah, I was going to say I kind of got distracted. Imagine that as I get distracted. No, the Hardin County Savings Bank, they'll be doing bingo today at 2 p.m. Bingo today at 2 p.m., okay? And then also, too, now this is very special. I haven't even talked about this. They have an auction going on. They have an auction going on today, and it's just, well, it's kind of sad and cool at the same time because they're going to be doing, of course, Union is closed as a school. And so Union's closed as a school, but a lot of the items in the auction are going to be coming from the Union Whitten Middle School. Okay? And they also, I understand, are going to do a walk through the middle school at 2 o'clock. Class of 76 is going to sponsor that. So, but going back to the auction, and the auction today will be at 12:30. They have a lot of cool things that'll be auctioned off. A lot of Union Whitten stuff, a lot of Cobra stuff, a lot of green stuff, man. And I know that some of the things also too. Denise Rife Long. Now we all know about Denise and what she did in basketball against the Everly Cattle Feeders. I still think that's a great name for a team. But anyway, we know what she did, and I think she's given a lot of donations of autograph materials. So there'll be a lot of Cobra stuff. And speaking of Cobra stuff, we got to have a class reunion. We got the Union Whitten class of 1986. I think that was right before they kind of merged over. There's a Tootsie Pop. So we got the class of 86, and now the class of 76. Like I said, they're going to lead the walkthrough through the middle school, and they're going to do that this afternoon. So we got the class. Those green colors are just so cool. I should go to the auction and get a Cobra shirt because those colors are just so cool, man. So 2 class reunions. Now, I had dead air there because I had to go get a Tootsie Pop. All I want is one Tootsie Pop, and it was just laying out there begging for me. This is the Bethel Grove Christian Church, the 175th anniversary. How nice. This is very, very nice. The Bethel Grove Church, birthday 175. That's very nice. And they're throwing Tootsie Pops and Tootsie Rolls. That was nice. They're very historic, too. And you know, this has been a nice parade, and we haven't even got to the tractors yet. And once again, the Union Library doing a book sale at the library. Laura Newby, they always do so many good programs. They're doing a book sale today from till 2 o'clock. And it's a free will donation, okay? Not an individual price item. It's a free will donation. And then, speaking of the library, I think they're also, a lady's going to be at the park today after the parade doing, I'm going to have to say this word very slowly, caricatures. Basically, it's drawings, okay? And so she's going to be at the park. And like I said, we have the craft fair at the park. And a lot of special things at 12:30. Like they're going to present the Grand Marshal Bob Johnson and also Miss Union Whitten, Leah McEwen. They're going to have a special presentation of the Star Spangled Banner by Miss Butler. And then, of course, the Quilts of Valor. And, you know, that's very, very important, the Quilts of Valor. So they're going to do that. And we also have a kids tractor pull. That'll be at 1:30. Bingo. Already mentioned that at the Hardin County Savings Bank at 2. And then this is going to be very bittersweet because it's no longer a school, but they're going to do a walkthrough of the middle school. The class of 76, I think, is going to be leading the way. That's going to be at 2 p.m. And then, of course, we have the, we're going to have the auction and just a whole bunch of Union Whitten stuff, including a lot of autograph things courtesy of Denise. And we have a little stoppage here in the parade. So, we'll get that sorted out. And again, you can see, I mean, it really warmed up. I mean, when I when I went to work at 4:30 this morning, it was cold, man. And I know the people that took part in the run, they had to wear some long sleeve shirts, But I mean, really, really, great parade. Everybody getting the candy. Okay, like I said, it's been a good parade, and we haven't even got to the tractors, because you got to have tractors. And oh, by the way, there will be a tractor show basically downtown, and it's basically where the car show is going to be too. So like I said, there's plenty of things to see, do, and eat after this parade is over. Again, the community meal will be at the golf course today from 6 till 7:30. A family movie, David at the Union Community Church, night golf tournament, that's always a hoot. And then remember, because of the rains yesterday, which actually we needed the rains in the morning, I'm glad it stopped for the youth golf tournament, but then it just got to be annoying in the afternoon, I mean, it just got to be annoying. And it put the kibosh on the fireworks. So they'll do the fireworks tonight along with the golf tournament and the meal. So what a great way to end things. And then you know what? They're going to do a hymn sing worship service at 9:30 tomorrow morning. So just a great day for a parade. We've already had 2 class reunions from 1976 and 1986. And again, I want to thank all the people that have done KDAO radio interviews to promote various aspects of Union Tar Heel Days. We're talking, of course, about Diana Haywood, and we're talking about our library director, Laura Newby, and Jenny Pekarik of Heart of Iowa. Thanks, Jenny. She did a nice interview about the run. The Hardin County Democratic Party. So a lot of walking and a lot of throwing candy. And just a lot of fun here in Union for the parade. And, of course, like I said, the food trucks will get going on the, well, basically it's east of the Old Supper Club. Innovative Ag Services. And you always got to have a big tractor. You always have to have a super big tractor. And so we've got okay. Got to zoom out on this one. Don't forget, this afternoon, 12:30, Star Spangled Banner, Quilts of Valor. Got the Tar Heel auction with a lot of cool stuff from Union Witten. The walk through the middle school. That barbecue contest is going on up at the golf course. And the meal is also going on at the golf course. And that'll be from 6 till 7:30. So, and the Masons did a good job last night bringing down food. Hopefully you got one of their pork loin sandwiches. Those things are the best, man. And I'm sure the food will be good tonight. And thanks to everybody that donates. I mean, they donate time, money, product, things for the golf tournament. And that, once again, going back to that youth golf tournament, man, that's completely free of charge. And I know, I think it might be Karen that does cookies. I mean, somebody does cookies for them. So that's just really nice, and I was glad the weather kind of cooperated. And like I said, the people who took part in the adult golf tournament last night, they were troopers, man, because it rained on them. It did kibosh the fireworks, and the fireworks will be made up tonight. Now, this is also one of our... now, with Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service, I never ever know if they're going to be in the parade, okay? Because, well, one of their jobs is to, pull people out of ditches. So I never ever know, but they're here today. So thanks to Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service for helping to sponsor the parade. Oh, they're throwing out chocolate candy bars. They're throwing out Butterfingers. Okay. And of course, the Community Church of Union, they always do a good job. I mean, I know I promote fundraisers and food and suppers and bake sales, and sometimes they do an autumn thing. So nice job, Community Church of Union. We've had 2 class reunions. That's always nice. The Union Witten classes of 76 and 86. The 76 class will be leading the walkthrough through the middle school this afternoon, or the old high school. Excuse me. They'll be doing that at 2 p.m. And the auction with a whole bunch of Cobra stuff. It's just like the Cobra colors. They're just so cool, man. No, I'm fine. Thank you very much. They're handing out water. That's good. I mean, it's not very hot, but still, that sun's coming down on you. We'll have things for the kids to do afterwards. Don't forget we have the craft and vendor fair.
Have you been practicing your parade way?
And of course, we're also celebrating birthday 250 of the United States. All the parades we go to this year. And like I said, we started. Good job, Community Church of Union. Like I said, I actually started in Beeman. Man, that was in like mid-May. And we got some horses. Some very nice horsies. Got to have horsies. And just a couple entries. Oh, this is a nice parade. So this is the classic. 1948 Studebaker. And remember, they have a book sale going on at the library, and they'll be doing that until 2 o'clock today. So that's one thing going on today, along with the Kitty Tractor Pull Bingo at the Harding County Savings Bank at 2. I mentioned, the auction, Quilts of Valor presentation. We're going to have the community meal tonight. So just a wonderful event. The committee just does a great job with this. And before too long, we'll be talking about the about their winter event that they have as well. And I want to thank all the volunteer fire departments for coming over. I mean, man, we had Liscum and of course Union. Of course, you have Witten, New Providence, Conrad, all coming over. So just want to thank them very much. And thanks to our sponsors, Tar Heel Days Committee and the Union Betterment Association, Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative, the Harding County Savings Bank, and Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service. May or may not be my last parade of the year. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But again, thanks for tuning in. Plenty of things to see, do, and eat in downtown Union following this parade, which is over now. And this has just been a great parade. It's always a great parade, man. And again, thanks to Heart of Iowa for the Ethernet and for the power. Really appreciate all their efforts. And I just want to thank everybody for coming down to Union. And maybe if you weren't able to watch the parade, you were able to be here, you can watch the parade on KDAO.com. So that's it from Union. Another parade in the books, another good parade on a beautiful day for a parade. This has been the Union Tar Heel Days Parade. We hope you enjoyed it. It's been a special presentation of KDAO.
This special broadcast is made possible by Dave's Crane and Wrecker Service, the Tar Heel Days Committee and the Union Betterment Association, Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative, Hardin County Savings Bank. This has been a local video presentation of KDAO.